Pounders, welcome back. Today we're going to be ripping some dog bowls as well as Battle Royale Week 7. We're looking at about 40% full right now, and today is Friday. This thing's going to have to speed up if it's going to fill. I have no doubt it'll fill, but my God, seems a little behind so far. Dog bowls are at 53% full, so that is more than on pace. We have to get quite a bit of volume in the next 2 days. We're going to try to start with, wishful thinking. Wishful thinking. We will get one of these in today, though. It's my favorite contest right now. It's the $25 fullback dive, 1,100 entrants, 5K up top. Like, there's a good prize pool for this. And what I love about this is it's 20%, right? It's 20. It's pretty good. Like, you'll see a lot of the contests, it's usually 10% of the prize pool being for first place. And then second place will be half of first. So there is a little more stress on getting first place in this contest. So you'll also see it's a little more punishing to get that min cash line, which we're not trying to min cash. We are looking for that net positive result of finishing top 3, especially for this contest. It is rewarding. It is rewarding first place very well. We haven't done the single entry yet. And we just 5 out of 5 this. So what a day. What a way to warm up. Let's hit the single entry. And we get the 5 spot. Not recognizing anyone's name in this contest. And then we'll go over some of my favorite plays, favorite double stacks, favorite scrolls, favorite one-offs. There's a ton on this slate. Tight ends. I think this is actually a really fun slate. Where the hell? Like, Fant's all the way the heck down here. Schultz against Green Bay. He's actually been picking it up with the targets. Not getting in the end zone, but the targets are at least promising. And you have Nico out. So I feel like people sort of forget a little bit about Schultz. Nico being out is huge. Absolutely huge for Schultz. It's going to be interesting to see how much Amari Cooper is going to play. I find it hard to believe he will play more than 50% of the snaps. But you got to think he's going to be in red zone packages. I'm staying away for the main slate. Maybe I'll have him on 1 or 2 Josh Allen teams out of, let's say, 10, 15 Josh Allen teams. But, like, he's really got to pay off in the red zone, I think, to get there. Pretty standard. Jefferson, these 2 running backs. I do like A.J. Brown next. I do like Chase after that. So I'm pretty much a simpleton there. But I would put Malik Neighbors. This person is definitely not there. V3-7 is going to be auto-drafting. I would like A.J. Brown and Neighbors. I think there's plenty of ways to get different, even with this start that could be a little on the chalky end. But Neighbors started around, like, pick 11 or 12. So this is something that we told the Patreon members in the Discord. Like, get Neighbors while you still can with these interesting combinations. Yeah, Neighbors goes. Wanna what? Maybe this is a little different combination just due to the ADP advantage. So we'll get different with the next click, but I don't mind bringing in Amon-Ra here. This game total is going to be one that I want a piece of this Detroit-Minnesota game with a lot of my lineups. I'm not going to say with every lineup, with a lot of my lineups. Same thing with this Carolina-Washington game. You guys wouldn't think it, but 51.5 point total for this game. Higher than Detroit, Minnesota, which is 50.5. Oh my God. Give me one of these 3 tight ends. This is another thing that I'm going to die on the sword this week on these 3 tight ends. And I'm okay with it. I'm completely okay with it. Don't go double elite, bro. Don't go double elite. Give us a chance. This guy's autoing. So we should be good. We should get one of the 2. Unless he goes Kittle. If this guy goes Kittle and he autos Kelsey, we take we just take an L. We just take an L. But I'm going to have good. Well, I'm going to have a majority of my teams with the top 3 tight end here. It feels like one of those weeks. It feels like one of those weeks where you need either Bowers, Kelsey, or Kittle. So we'll see. I'm willing to die on that sword though. Ooh. Who's this guy have? Guess what? We're bringing in Kittle. So far, pretty tied to ADP. We might get a little different with the Amon-Ra going at 8. But this contest is how big? 2,200. So it's not like you have to force getting different. And we have some scrolls that we like. I'm going to have a scroll pick on the single entry for sure. Unless they get sniped. B-Rob. Let's go. Interesting. Very interesting. I'm going to grab the ADP advantage here with Joe Mixon again. Like I'm not gonna reinvent the wheel. My scroll was going to be Josh Jacobs. I don't really love going both RBs in the same game that is negatively correlated in a gain script fashion. Like it's just a little negative on the negative correlation side, but Mixon at 20. We don't really like you. We don't have to force it. We don't have to force it. He's on auto, so he's grabbing one of the elite tight QBs. Oh, wow. It looks like we're going to end up with Hurts. We can go Hurts and Devonta Smith. This guy does not need a flex, so we're getting whatever flex we want. We have a Detroit piece. He goes Jordan Love. This dude's back. Back from the dead. I should have known. He went Reed before ADP. Ooh. Thing is with Allen, he's just going to spread the ball. So I don't feel like I need a Buffalo piece. Let's just, now I'm not going to go Devonta Smith. That changes my next click. That changes my next click. James Cook practices fully, and now you also have Ray Davis who pops up with an injury. It's just like this one's interesting. This one's very interesting. Chase Brown, we already have Jamar Chase, but he's definitely in play. Singletary's expected back. Yeah, one of my favorite scrolls is it's definitely going to be Josh Jacobs here, but do we go Tony Pollard as the bring back play? I think Spears is out. Let's get a little correlation. Let's get a little correlation with Josh Allen. They're going to have to run the ball. Levis is playing like absolute ass. Jesus. Like against Indy, they're going to have to run the ball. Spears is out. Let's get that little mini stack there. I think it's pretty fun. And you're guaranteed what, 18 touches for Tony Pollard? And if they're playing from behind, hopefully getting some of that work in the passing game. So he's had a pretty decent floor here with about 2-3 catches a game. If you expect them to be playing from behind, that should be a minimum 3 catches this week. Minus 5 yards, that's not ideal, but I think Buffalo, this game script alone is just going to be, it's going to be interesting. You have to keep Josh Allen off the field. That's the thing, too. So they're going to have to do it on the ground. These dog bowls are going to be interesting, right? Because, like, plenty of running backs left is what I see. And I haven't done a dog bowl yet, but this seems like a pretty good time. +2 for dog bowls if you guys want to jump in here with me. Let's go. Let's go. And what's interesting is Justin Jefferson at the 1 spot. I think he should probably be at 1, especially in dog bowls. Like, I'm gonna like these receivers, I think, more than the running backs in this first round, just because of the depth that falls off. Although Josh Downs here against Miami is a pretty good spot. You have Pittman, who's not practicing. That's very, very big for how late Josh Downs goes. If Pittman doesn't play, A-Rich is playing, it doesn't matter. Josh Downs becomes 27% plus target share of this offense, even if the targets are shit. Miami, I don't really trust that can stand the field without Tua. Myers is doubtful for week 7, so this is another reason why I'm so heavy on Bowers this week. Like, he's going to be the main focal point of the offense. We do get the 2 spot. Let me do a real quick download of my exposures. Right here, click extract, come back to the draft room, and refresh. You guys don't know what all this stuff is on the screen. Bestballoverlay.com, promo code Pounders will bring it from $40 a month down to $30 a month. Keeps track of your exposure percent, gives you the game spreads of each game, whether it's in a dome, the weather, and the spreads. And my favorite part is the team total. Like, you can have the spreads on the screen, great. What's the team total? How much is that team going to score? Really helps me sort of figure out what the game script's going to look like in the fourth quarter. Is this team going to be playing from behind, throwing the ball? Is this team going to be running the clock out on the ground? Let's try an RB start here. And then it's probably double tap receiver, but we'll have to see. First dog bowl here. GM, please leave Kyron for me. Even though crutches won't let him fall. That's going to be hard, especially against Vegas, who only has Brock Bowers. Like, this offense is in shambles. Same thing with the Rams. Like, their offense is in shambles. We'll see what ends up happening with Kupp. Possible game time decision. So far in the main slate, I've mixed him in once or twice. I think. Maybe I even haven't. But he's like a 5th round pick, so it's not like it won't really matter if he doesn't play. He probably does rise, but the thing is, you're not going to know. You're not going to know until, what, an hour before the game? Maybe less. Shout out to Chad, literally one of the grinders in this space. And you're always seeing him front page. And he already has a ticket. Chad already has a ticket. K-Walk, Neighbors at 7. And this is what I had in the notes for the Discord Patreon members was you could even put Neighbors above Amon-Ra this week. I think the 6 spot's up for grabs. I'd probably personally have Neighbors there. Just, Detroit's doing too good of a job spreading the ball. Like they're doing too good of a job. And QBs, there's so many viable QBs on this slate. You're at 11 with Purdy off. So, like, sure, maybe don't be the 12th team to grab a QB. But even then, like, A-Rich versus Miami. Daniel Jones is fine against Philly. You're probably going to be correlating it with Neighbors, too. So, yeah. Chad said, I'd take Neighbors at 3 to be unique. I think that's literally, it's so smart. It's so smart. Just to pair him with guys on the opposite side of the board. When you guys start thinking with Chad brain, like, it's not minus EV. Like, how much projection are you giving up by doing that? And it's not that much, but you're getting a completely unique team, probably with your second pick, a great majority of the time. Definitely your third pick. So it's definitely a sharp point. And you want to find these players that aren't like falling, right? So like Neighbors isn't going this way. His ADP's climbing. The closer we get to kickoff, and now he's fully practicing. No injury designation, like, so his ADP is going this way. Diggs and K-Walk. DK and Bowers. I like that start. I like the DK Bowers start. Tight end, sort of a crapshoot. Like, after these top 3 are out, I like Njoku, but not enough to pick him in this second or third round. At least where we're picking from. Debo goes. Let's see if they go 1-2 on because I fully expect Chad and Crutches to pick the 2 guys I want. Wifey's home. Yeah, there's Reed and Samuel. It's exactly what we're gonna do. It's crazy, but expected. Expected. Okay. I know what I should do. I know what I should do, but will I? Let's go Deontay Johnson here. Had a nice little bounce back game that we were fully expecting last week. Now, he doesn't quite get there. He needed around 20 points to keep up, but 16.8, pretty good. Pretty good. He's just made a big impact with Dalton, so okay, good. Let's reach out for Devonta Smith here. I was debating between just going Hurts and Dev Smith. But let's simmer down, I guess, a little bit. Gibbs goes, Tank Dell goes. I just think the running backs that come back to me. Let's see what comes back. Let's see what comes back. It is tough having Chad and Crutches in front of you. And shout out to T-Baller, Crash Rich, Connor, Cowboys. It's always a sharp room. I've sort of noticed the closer you get to Sunday, sometimes you get some easier lobbies. Saturday, Sunday night, Sunday morning, I mean, before it fills. You get a little bit softer lobbies because people are like, oh, I'll throw one in. Like it's about to fill. I'll throw one in. Sometimes you get some lobbies that are a little softer. But this lobby definitely is not that. Let's see what Connor does here. Goes Cooper Kupp, leaning into the Q tag. I like it. And sorry for the lack of volume, guys. Like, streaming's been tough. Wife's grandma's in the hospital, so like I've had to dial back like a lot this week. But yeah, my volume too. Just everything from the week's been a little tough, so less week and a half. Fill rate's way ahead. Yeah. Yeah, especially Dog Bowl. Like already over 50%. I was very surprised to see that. I was very surprised to see that. But I'm gonna get my 8 in. I usually do 8 to 12. It's an interesting week too. It's a very, very interesting week. Aaron Jones goes, can't get I can't get to his projection. I'm just not gonna have, like, it is what it is. I'm just not gonna have a lot of Aaron Jones this week, even in dog bowls. I think with the injury, with them bringing in Cam Akers, not like, oh, Cam Akers gonna steal a bunch of carries. Not saying that, but what's it say about his injury that they're now looking for outside depth? You have the Detroit Lions, who have a very good run defense. Just a couple factors there that I'm just going to shy away from that spot. And it would have to be an absolute miracle for me to get this next click. Like, he should have gone probably to this team. Ah, fuck. There goes James Cook. That's one of the two. Oh, God. It's over. It's over. We're not getting... We have to just start looking for another click. It's not happening. Trending in the right direction. And even B-Rob, like, if he was fully healthy for this game, I would like the spot a lot more, but I do think there's a good chance he gets like 60% of the workload and Eckler still fills in against Carolina. Although we know Eckler's been up and down with efficiency, but yeah, Jacobs goes. James Cook and Jacobs in this spot. Like, if you can get your two wide receivers in round 2 and 3, whatever, and you have your running back in your first round, if you can get one of James Cook or Jacobs in the 4th round, you are cooking. You are cooking. People are sort of realizing QBs don't matter. Man, I don't mind getting a piece of this Detroit Minnesota game, not gonna lie. Not gonna lie. There's so much shit you could do in this spot. There's so much shit you can do in this spot. He goes Darnold. Kind of expected that with Jefferson. Ah. Okay. Grab a piece of this San Fran KC game. And then let's just see who comes back to us at QB. I mean, we're probably... I'm going to do it anyways. There's Love. There's C-Watt. Super late. That's the other one I was thinking of. You would have to go Love first. Christian Watson, he may or may not come back. So that's the risk there. We do have 3 available QBs as of right now. I don't think it's going to happen. Where's Debo? Yeah, so Chad's going, most likely grabbing Purdy with one of these 2 clicks. He could also lean into Burrow, though, with Jamar Chase. Let's bet MMA. What's up, dude? What's up, Pounders? Ayuk, pretty rare to drop that. Yeah. Ayuk probably goes too late. he's gonna have his weeks. And again, I'm not too surprised by the slow start because of him sitting out of training camp, but like he's got to show something quick. And KC is going to be a competitive game. Maybe they focus on locking up Debo and Kittle. But no CMCs really made an impact on all of these receivers and just the way teams play San Fran now. Nice little A-Rich Josh Down stackaroo. Zach Ertz to Crash Rich. Again, correlating this game script here with Washington and Carolina. And we'll see what Crash Rich does here. If he goes Daniel Jones, I feel very good. I feel very good about the quarterback that's going to come back to me at 71. Here we go. Topes might be setting up the Christian Watson love. And then this is probably Kirk Cousins. It's going to be Kirk Cousins here, 63 with that double stack. Drake London and Mooney. Both teams have a QB after him, so he went his flex first correctly. Yeah, this is what I tend to do as well. You're looking behind you who has what players, but the more options you have, the more you just want to just push it. Especially if there's a player there that you want, like a flex or tight end, if you think there's a drop off based on who you're going to get. Dobbs goes. That's a nice click in this round as well. Leggett is a nice click in this round if Deontay Johnson just randomly spikes on, just doesn't end up playing because you can't swap to Leggett. He's being drafted. So there's a little more risk with Deontay Johnson, but I also think he would be going a little earlier if he didn't have that Q tag. Jaden Reed here at 22 is so nice. Debo here at 20 is so nice. Jamar Chase and Debo start? Like, come on. Gotta think Chad's leaning into Burrow for the double stack. And it should be his. And this should be Daniel Jones, but we'll see what Crash Rich does. He could just, yeah. Cool. Yeah, I'm super excited for who comes back. Trey Tucker, let's go. T-baller out here, actually balling. Joe Burrow brings in the clean double stack. Worthy goes clean, clean, clean. You just get the pick of the litter. Just so crazy. So crazy. Mahomes goes. I actually like this click. He didn't have the option to go read. Let's go Purdy here with Ayuk. I like this team. I think this team turned out pretty well. Deontay Johnson, if he doesn't play, like, completely fucked. But there are some decent pick swaps down here. Jordan Whittington's a fine pick swap if we absolutely needed a receiver pick swap. If Kupp doesn't play, he's going to get, 8+ targets. We have Kyron too. Something to think about. But all right, let's jump into another Battle Royale, and let's get a Dog Bowl fired up. Waiting on 6 if you guys want to join us in that Dog Bowl. Let's do this. Let's open up the main slate. Waiting on 5 now for the Dog Bowl. That's going to fill pretty quick. Yeah, you got to lean into that double stack. That was a sick team. That was an absolute sick team. We get the 2 spot. T-Bear. Oh my god, I haven't seen T-Bear in a draft in a long time. I believe T-Bear won a ticket last year. If it's who I'm thinking of, really funny guy. Really funny guy. Yeah, that was nice. That was really, really nice. It feels good when you push off QB, you have a double stack, and the QB comes back to you. I mean, you can sort of tell which rooms you can trust to do that. Waiting on 2 for the dog bowl now. I'm definitely getting a lot of pick 1, 2, and 3 so far. And then again, I'm at 43% neighbors. That will level off by Sunday. But I'm drafting as much neighbors as I could, especially with these early drafts. I've done about like 15 drafts. So I was grabbing neighbors when he was down here at 11 and putting him with those other combinations. Unfortunately, I didn't get like crazy volume early, but only doing 4 dog bowls a week this year. What's up, Wise? Like the Trey Tucker pick. Yeah, you're basically looking for a long touchdown with Trey Tucker. Kind of like a discount store Shaheed in a way. Myers, it's not looking good for him. I would rather just play that through Bowers, but Madison's also it's the click is so gross, but they're just running out of options. They're just running out of options. We'll have to keep an eye on Zamir White's status too. Like Madison could be a decent scroll this week, which is so gross. It's so gross to say. I don't think you have to go there, but for dog bowls, it's at least interesting. It's at least interesting. Mm. Oh, Singletary way down here is very interesting as well for dog bowls. For dog bowls. Let's go, K-Walk. He's just so involved in the pass game. I would actually like to get a Seattle double stack here if we can. Yeah, let's go a Seattle double stack. Let's make this a Geno team. Let's try to get Kyle Pitts as the bring back. Where's Drake London go? Drake London went at 8 in this room. Let's get Geno here. Not with this next click, but I'm loving this. Like just throwing the ball 50 times, 2 out of the last 3 games, even 40 against the Giants. I'm loving this year's Seattle offense. And my DK shares are thanking the coaching staff. Lockett plus Geno. Lockett, you have JSN that's a little banged up too, right? Completely off. Looks like he's not off the injury report. I thought I saw something on Twitter yesterday. Let me see. Mm-mm-mm. Maybe not. Maybe not. All right, we get pick 4 here in the dog bowl. Herzig's in this one. Chad again, 8 spot. Shout out to T-Box at 9. T-Baller again, Crash Rich, Cowboys. Interesting room. Let's bet MMA here at the 6 spot. What's up, dude? In the live stream. Yeah, I can't find the JSN thing. I could have swore I read something, but dude, maybe my brain's just making it up. I do like Reed here. I'm not gonna lie. I like Reed, and let's stick with that plan of going Kyle Pitts as the bring back, and then let's wrap this one up with Gino. Very comfortable with how many catches K-Walk is getting for his chances of scoring a receiving touchdown. Of course, it's going to be game script related too, but against Atlanta, 51 point total. Even if they don't have to pass the ball, this is an interesting spot. I love one of these 2 clicks. You could add Chase in there too. If I'm doing 8 of these, I should go AJ Brown in this spot at 4. So that's what we're going to do. But yeah, Neighbors will probably pass Daniels. Watch us just randomly get sniped on Geno Smith in this room. Could happen. It could happen. All right. AJ Brown against the Giants. If not now, then when? If not now, then when? Devonta Smith though goes way too late. I'm wondering, does anyone else feel like that? His price tag just seems like he goes too late in these. Oh, the Juju click is crazy too. The Juju click is crazy too. I mean, he's getting a steady dose. Steady dose of targets. Oh no. No. For a second, dude, I thought you were talking about Brock Purdy. Bowers here at 10s, you're gonna see him go off the board in the first round in the majority of drafts. It depends. Like, how much do you want to lean into these early 3 tight ends? And Chad's done a lot more volume than I have, but I'm assuming it's very rare for these guys to make it back to like the back end here. He goes double elite. He goes double elite tight end. Oh, you hate to see it. You hate to see it. We bring in Gino. Again, I think we do get different too in the main slate. That is 56,000 entrants by stacking Gino with K-Walk. T-Box says, thank you for Joe Mixon. A little B-Rob Joe Mixon starts fun. Chubu and Neighbors for Chad. K-Walk went at 5 in this room. No. Dog Bowl? I believe that. I believe that. Yeah, we're Reed and Debo. I don't care how chalk this is. Like, there's a drop off. I mean, if Cup plays, you could add him to this conversation, but is one chalkier than the other? I'm good with the start. Debo goes next to Crash Rich. Yeah. I almost like being in the middle a little better than at the 2 spot. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. Monroe Diggs. Chase DK's a sick start. And happy Friday, everyone. Like, just happy to be drafting today. Happy to be drafting. Thanks you guys for also joining me on this one. Are you going to mix in Singletary? Singletary's going undrafted. This is a good question for Chad. Should Singletary go undrafted against Philly? I like this spot. I like this spot right now. I think we're going to get 2 running backs we really like. That's the goal. We're going to get 2 running backs we really like. Or we're going to get the Jalen Hurts stack. We're not getting the Hurts stack. Oh, man. Imagine Gibbs falls to us there. I'm having a small parade. We're throwing a small parade. Tony Pollard against Buffalo or B-Rob. The only thing I worry about B-Rob is the health. That's it. We'll see if Love comes back to us, we could try Love here at 45, but I'd prefer this to be a running back. That's right. That's right. Even in season long, man. I tried telling everyone Singletary was going after Trey Benson. Singletary was going after Blake Corum. There were just a few picks that, like, all right, I'll start selecting those other guys once Singletary moves ahead of them in ADP. And it took, like, through July, through, like, maybe around the start of August for that to happen. And I was like, I'm just not going to end up with that much Benson and Corum. And is that scary? Yeah, a little bit. Like, especially, like, preseason vibes. But ends up being pretty good call. The first CSV I released, I had Singletary ahead of Zamir White. And that's the one that I did with Nick, NF42. Put our brains together and we released a strong CSV. Or yeah, for basically rankings for everyone. And then I kept those rankings up to date all the way through the summer. It was a lot of fun. Learned a lot, and it kept me responsible for my exposures. It's nice. A lot of work, but it was worth it. T-Box goes Jordan Love here. Could be setting something up. B-Rob goes at 36. The Washington onslaught. The Washington onslaught. I don't hate it. I mean, you have a game total that's 51 and a half with an implied total. I think they have 30 points for Washington. Where's Ertz? 30.3 implied total for Washington. There's enough points there for the running back, the QB, obviously Terry, to get there without B-Rob scoring a receiving touchdown. There's definitely enough points in that game. Trying to think. If we do get Hurts back in this spot, are we ever double stacking Hurts? Like with Devonta Smith if he came back? If I was able to get 10 of these, A.J. Brown and Hurts, I would say maybe 1 or 2 would have a double stack with Devonta Smith. But the thing is, with Hurts, the double stacks it's more so on the negatively correlated side. Typically, one of those pieces are getting there. Like last year, I think there was 2 games out of all the games they played that both of them were wide receiver 1s on the same week. Charles, what's up, baby? Welcome to the live stream, man. I'll drop some spoons for you, bro. I got you. Yeah, T. Higgs goes next. I think both of these clicks are pretty sharp in this spot. Ayuk goes next. There's the Dobbs correlation with Love. Fuck. Chad, chill. I have to get by one more person. Yeah, we're definitely going Joe Burrow. We're definitely going Joe Burrow. We got to stack him with Jaceki. You got to put the fear. You got to put the fear in. You know what I mean? You got to put the fear in. Smoke screen. You got to smoke screen a little bit, boys. When you're on this side of the computer, you got to smoke screen. I'm going to like Jacobs. I'm going to like James Cook in this spot. A little negatively correlated with both RBs, but I don't mind it with the amount of work that James Cook gets in the passing game. I think this is fine. I don't mind it as much, I should say, in dog bowls. That's a smaller field. Both of these RBs involved in the passing game. They're probably saying, Pat, what the hell are you going to do at QB? That's a good question. That's a good question. Because there's no way we're getting Kirk Cousins to come back to us, right? Where's the Drake London team? Drake London went here. So you got to think he's going, at the very minimum, he's probably bringing in Captain Kirk with one of those two picks. Yeah, Njoku would have been sick here at 52. And Pitts. And Pitts. Njoku and Pitts. Wanna what? God. It probably just is naked Mahomes here. And you're hoping he slides one in on the ground. Just gonna go naked Mahomes. The other thing is there seems to be a drop off, at least with the prototype of QBs you can get, right? Like Joe Burrow, gonna be heavily tied to Jamar Chase. Although last week, I mean, if you're gonna get a 50-yard rushing touchdown from Joe Burrow, like, go ahead, go stack that QB. Mahomes does spread the ball, and he can get there in the ground every now and then. Maybe he's due. Against San Fran, it'll be a tough task, but I do think there's a drop off. Goff's another one. Who spreads the ball. So not always tied to one player. We've seen that a lot this year. We've seen that a ton. So Goff's another one I don't actually mind bringing in just as a solo QB, no stack. Especially when your back's against the wall. Like, Hurts is gone. Jordan Love's gone. So, like, we're not getting a stack with a receiver. So you have to start thinking who's going to make the most sense in this scenario. How many teams need tight ends behind? 1, 2, 3. 3 teams need a tight end. So got to queue up 4 tight ends. It's pretty easy. It's pretty good. That's pretty good. I don't expect. Oh, man, if Hawk plays, what % of snaps is he getting in his first game back from an ACL tear? I don't love it. Give me 1 week of seeing it. And that take might hurt me. Like, what if he's in those red zone packages? The what if though. I'm cool with fading it. Zach Ertz, Colby. Yeah, there's some pretty good options here at tight end. Like, if you're not going to get one of these top 3, Bowers, Kelsey, Kittle, I do like this next tier. And they went in the 5th round, I think rightfully so. You can see the tight end gap between pick 15 and the next one off the board at 44. I think that's the sign of actually a sharper room. QB is also being pushed down a lot in this room. Let me actually go to that last draft I did and just save the board because we picked Deontay Johnson, so I might need a pick swap. Trey Sermon not listed on the injury report. Josh Downs, Alec Pierce listed as questionable. Tyler Lockett not listed on the injury report for week 7. Where'd Kareem Hunt go to? Did Hunt go off the board here? Yeah, Hunt went off at 43. Hunt against San Fran's different beast, but all right, we're gonna get Fant here. Perfect. And if I had more volume, I would be using the combination calculator. Again, I only have this my second dog bowl, so I don't really have to worry about overlap on teams. But typically around Friday, Saturday, when I have a good amount of volume, this is helping me a lot. So I could see just by highlighting these two, I do have a Reed Cook team. And then you can just add another player to that. We don't have it with any other combination of players on this team. So it does help if you're doing big volume. We are reworking this too to make it even better. We're really excited to drop that soon. It's going to be crazy. Seawalko is at 71. Strong team by Cowboys. Lee Neighbors, Chuba, Cooper, Josh Jacobs, Trey Tucker, and Purdy. Strong teams. All right, let's see if we can fill a fullback dive. We have a good amount of people in here. $25 entry, 5 entry max. Why has no one liked this contest? Why has no one liked this contest? Come on, boys. Come on. 5K up top. It's such a juicy one. Only 1,100 entrants. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Last week, was the first week I only got 3 out of the 5. And it was just due to, like, it filled on Saturday night. It filled over hours. So, like, it filled from the hours of, like, 3 a.m. to 7:30 a.m. And I wanted to fill it, but it's been my favorite contest so far this year. And again, I mean, we also, when you're on a player like Mixon, last week, Mixon was our guy for the scroll. This week, it's probably Josh Jacobs or James Cook, for running back at least. It makes it a lot easier that if you're on that good scroll piece and he hits, people in those contests are more heavily tied to ADP because it's a higher price point contest. It's $25. It's 1,100 entrants. People are just a little more tied to ADP. So it can give you a really, really big advantage if you're hitting on that piece that's a scroll. And it's not even like you're sacrificing that much for projection too. Like even B-Rob and Josh Jacobs. Like B-Rob gets drafted every single draft. Same thing with like David Montgomery. I'm just getting a weird feeling. It just feels, and there's no scientific data backing this point. It just feels like a Gibbs week. It just feels like a Gibbs week. Good luck to you too, Chad. Appreciate you coming in, man. Fun drafts. But Purdy, I think Purdy's a sneaky double stack in this contest. Yes, they've struggled a little bit, but they're going to have to be on the game. They know that to play KC. This was a little more promising against Seattle. 3 tutties, no interceptions, so maybe trending upwards. I think you can double stack Geno with Fant DK. You saw us already do that. That's a fun one. Kirk Cousins against Seattle. I think the double stacks live with Pitts, Drake London, or even if you want to get really spicy and add Mooney into that combo. I have a lot of, I will say, let me go back. Let's download the CSV. I do have, I want to say 1 Chase Neighbors team. Let's extract. And if I go to add here and I go to neighbors. Ooh, I don't. If this comes to me, I definitely want this pairing. Here we go. Neighbors is going to flip Jaden Daniels before we get off stream. Before we get off stream, he's going to be going at 7. And that's why I'm trying to get as many shares as possible. Drake London against Seattle. I don't think Terry comes back to us. Let's get a little different instead of going best available with K-Walk. Maybe just get a slightly different pairing, little less owned. If the other one's owned at whatever 25%, this one might be 12%. Sacrificing a little bit of projection against K-Walk, but I'm cool with it. Been doing a lot of hockey dailies. Any way to use the overlay for those? Honestly, like when we get bigger, we're going to be multi-sport. We're going to be every sport. They should. I don't know if you have the overlay or not already. It should still track your exposure. So tracking your exposure is already extremely helpful. And I'm not 100% sure if the combo tool works on it. But guess what? If you download it and it doesn't work and you're using it mainly for hockey and it doesn't work, we'll refund you. So literally just reach out to me on Discord or Twitter. Say, yeah, like it didn't work. Send me a screenshot too. I want to see how it looks. Where's hockey? Are we diving into a $3? Is there a oh god, 10. 10 stiff. You know, 10's tough. I want to say the combo tool as well as the exposure should work. Kelsey here at 17. I'm just gonna have a lot of these top 3 tight ends. And I'm okay if it fails because we probably shouldn't be surprised. It's the tight end position, but Kelsey's just in such a good spot. The team's just they need target earners. Mahomes needs someone to throw the ball to. I also have a Chase and a Njoku team, I believe, with the Burrow stack. So, do we have to reinvent the wheel, or do we just? I think you just go Debo here. I feel like that's very, very easy for me. Stopped in. BBOC says, stopped in for a mid-season like. I'll watch while I fade into my afternoon nap. GM. What's up, buddy? Now, the exposures work good. I use it for football, too. Yeah, let me know. I will say, once you download this, if you're doing any sort of volume weekly, $30 a week is absolutely nothing for what you're getting. It's absolutely nothing for what you're getting. Let me email myself my my exposures. The other thing is we have an update coming that you don't even have to do this. You don't even have to email. You can click a button. It will be right here on this page. You'll click download. It'll run through all your teams, and it'll give you a little pop-up up here in the download section, and then you can just upload it right to your portfolio optimizer, so you can re-download it multiple times a day. So we found a way to get around the 1-a-day email as well. We just did that with exposures. Now we're doing it with your teams, so you can keep uploading them to the portfolio optimizer, which is so sick. That update is basically ready to go live. I want Burrow. I think we just go Burrow here. He needs a QB. We don't. Let's go borrow. We can even go double stack if we want. Just say on, like, actual onslaught Cleveland, who's been an absolute dumpster fire. Or we can grab a scroll and go Josh Jacobs. Right now I'm trending at 28.6% Jacobs. I just want to have a good amount of my favorite piece that goes undrafted. It will simmer down, but I want to make sure these first couple of drafts I do very heavily based off vibes. Let's see. All right, so we downloaded that, I believe. Downloads. Let's see what this looks like so far, because I haven't opened this up. I don't have that much volume yet this week. 18 drafts, and I mean I'm on pace here. I like this probably to come down a little bit, so maybe get this closer to 75, 78%. Two RBs, so RB hitting the flex. That team had RB in the flex, so add another one to that. A lot of Kyron, a lot of Josh Jacobs, Jahmyr Gibbs. And again, I don't think there's any scientific thing about it. I just think it's a Gibbs week this week. They gave Montgomery a lot of the tutties last week. I think you could see it go in the favor of Gibbs this week. A lot of DK to start, a lot of neighbors, which I'm okay with because as the week goes on, like our next draft, or later today, whenever, he's going to be at pick 7. I'm actually surprised not to see a lot of. Oh, there it is. I was scrolled down. I mean, okay, there's Bowers. Bowers at 22%, Kittle at 16.7, and George Kittle at 11, and then Njoku, my next highest. Fans up there, Pitts. After that, I'm just gonna have scrolls. I'm gonna be basing it maybe off mini stacks or my QB stacks, and I'm okay with that. But yeah, you can go in here. You can click on Battle Royale, so I only see the Battle Royale teams. I can click Dog Bowl, so I just see the Dog Bowl teams. And then it shows up on the right side. So if someone's going off, let's say Jamar Chase scores 2 touchdowns by halftime, I'll just type in Chase, and it will pair out. It'll just divvy through all your drafts that you've done. So you can sort of see those live teams, and you can keep adding players. Oh, there's a second player that went off. So it makes it really easy to find your teams that have a chance. It's like at halftime of the 1 p.m. games, like which teams are actually cooking. At the end of the 1 p.m. games, what teams have a chance going into the 4 p.m. instead of going through all your drafts on Underdog and just blind clicking. This actually helps you sweat those contests very, very easily. But yeah, shout out to Josh. He's absolutely crushed it with this. We're going to have some crazy updates coming soon for you boys. And yeah, I hope you have a good rest of your weekend drafting. We're going to be away visiting the brother in Maine. And we'll be back on Monday, streaming on Monday. So I'll catch you guys then. Hope you have a good week 7. I'll catch you in the lobbies because we're going to be drafting a shit ton. So make sure you jump in the Discord and visit bestballoverlay.com. Promo code Pounders. Grab the edge. We'll catch you on the next one. Pounders.